This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 29 murders recorded locally since Friday. An additional 2 murders were recorded on Monday, with a murder of a man in Clarendon and a body, another male, being found in Port Antonio, Portland, bringing the grisly total to 29 murders across the island since Friday. 9 of the murders occurred on Sunday, the first lockdown day of the period of tighter restrictions imposed by the government to arrest the surge in COVID-19 deaths and infections. There was a quadruple murder in Clarendon, followed by separate attacks including a murder in the Kingston 8 area, another fatality in Whithorn, Westmoreland, and yet another in St. Mary. The free movement days fared no better. 7 of the murders occurred over an 8-hour period on Saturday, while 11 killings happened on Friday, a particularly bloody 24-hour period. Friday's bloodletting was highlighted by 4 deaths in the space of 4 hours in downtown Kingston. The mayhem started with a double fatality on the outskirts of Coronation Market, where armed thugs killed a man known as Bundown, a known associate of a top underworld figure from West Kingston, who has been in and out of state custody in recent times. Bundown was also reportedly a son of another underworld figure from the West Kingston area. Hours after the double fatality, a man known as Rolex, reportedly of a Jonestown address, was killed by armed men who reportedly trailed him to the Matthews Lane area of downtown Kingston and murdered him there. Only a few minutes later, another man, who is yet to be identified, was shot and killed in the Parade Haywood Street area. Both of the latter victims were reportedly affiliated to the Matthews Lane community. Over the weekend, a 2-year-old was shot and injured during an incident when gunmen killed Winston Mannings while he stood at the intersection of Fleet and Tower Streets in downtown Kingston, along with an 18-year-old female student and a 2-year-old. Armed men alighted from a motor vehicle and opened fire, killing Mannings and injuring the student and the infant. On Saturday, a man visiting from the United States was also shot and killed by yet unknown assailants along Mountain View Avenue in East Kingston at about 4 p.m. Woman for questioning re-child's father's death during home disputes. A woman has been taken into custody for questioning in connection with the fatal stabbing of her child's father during a domestic dispute between the two at his home in Westmoreland on Thursday morning. The deceased has been identified as 24-year-old Demar James of Landalo, Westmoreland. The police reported that about 12:12 a.m., James was inflicted with stab wounds during a dispute with his child's mother. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, James was found suffering from stab wounds. He was taken to the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The female was also taken to hospital, where she was treated for injuries she sustained during the incident. The Savannah Lamar police are investigating the incident. 2 men arrested after cops find drugs during vehicle search. Detectives assigned to the Narcotics Division have charged a man for breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act and the Firearms Act following his arrest in an incident in Montego Bay, St. James on Wednesday, September 8. 39-year-old Leo Daly, a farmer of Kilmarnock District, St. Elizabeth, has been charged with possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, and trafficking in cocaine. Reports are that about noon, lawmen intercepted the motor car that Daly was driving. The vehicle was searched and 5 kilograms of white substance resembling cocaine was found and one 5.56 cartridge. Daly and another man was taken into custody. On Friday, September 10, Daly was formally charged. Daly is scheduled to appear before the St. James Parish Court on Friday, September 17, 2021. The other man remains in police custody as the investigation continues. 8-year-old orphaned as a forced slain in Clarendon bloodbath. The blood-stained floor and the mattresses bore the gruesome reminder of gun violence that claimed the lives of the parents of an 8-year-old boy and 2 others in southwestern Clarendon on Sunday. The child's father, 25-year-old Michael Solomon, his mother, 25-year-old Sharona White, Sharona's sister Tashana White, 33, and the White's 19-year-old nephew, Luke Newman, were murdered in the Phase 3 area of Havana Heights in Clarendon shortly after midnight on Saturday. Reports from the Police Constabulary Communication Unit are that about 12:10 a.m., all 4 persons were at home when armed men gained access to the house and opened gunfire, hitting all 4 occupants. Havana Heights is 4 kilometers west of Clarendon's capital, Maypen. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey, who is in charge of the crime portfolio, told the news that 3 children were removed from a room and placed in another before the White sisters and their nephew were killed. He said that Solomon was shot outside the house. Solomon's mother, Jennifer Lennon, had no clue that when her son told her, "I love you," on Saturday, it would have been the last time. The distraught mother said that she could not imagine life without the younger of her 2 children. "I don't think I'm gonna make it. Believe me, he was my baby. Michael have my heart. Michael do everything for me," she said on Sunday. The mother said her son's murder is even more painful because he was never involved in any illegal activities. She said he instead spent his days trying to perfect his culinary skills. Lennon reported that her son had recently moved back to the community as she had sent him to another parish out of fear. She revealed that her son had disarmed a gunman who was subsequently mobbed and killed in the neighborhood last year. "Michael was a good picnic. No police never have to come for him because Michael afraid of police," she said. Police sources have disclosed that a sibling of the White sisters was the intended target. It was also reported that an ongoing feud between the target and his former cronies, allegedly over illicit monies gained through lottery scamming, may have triggered the attack. Sunday's attack on the alleged target's family was the 3rd reprisal stemming from the incident, the news understands. Assistant Commissioner of Police Michael Smith, who is in charge of Area 3, toured Havana Heights and offered condolences to the family. He described the crime as heinous and tragic. "We want to let the family know that we are going to be here and to reassure them that we will get to the bottom of this incident," Smith said. "As law enforcement officers, we are going to work to ensure that this matter is dealt with assiduously and in a speedy way so that it can be resolved." Smith, who characterized Havana Heights as problematic, said the police have always maintained a strong presence in the area. A team was on patrol in the community approximately 15 minutes before the incident, said the assistant commissioner. "Presence in this area is always heightened because even last week Thursday we had an operation, and we've had several operations in Havana Heights because it's one of the spots we keep monitoring. It's not a community that is left up to its own," he said. Councillor Uphel Purcell, who represents the Yorktown Division, is pleading with residents to give information to the police. "Those criminals don't care about anybody, and those guns that killed these 4 people in Havana Heights can kill anybody in your family or even you, so make certain you give the information to the police," said Purcell. As at September 4, Clarendon recorded a total of 63 murders. The figure is the same for the corresponding period last year. Council caretaker calls for more vaccination sites in St. Mary Western. People's National Party council caretaker for the Gill Division in St. Mary Western, Javon Byfield, is calling on the Ministry of Health and Wellness to set up vaccination sites in the constituency. Byfield, in a statement from the PNP, highlighted that the number of vaccination sites in the parish is insufficient to serve the population there. Further, he noted that there are many residents who are willing to get vaccinated but cannot do so due to what he said were challenges associated with accessing existing vaccination sites. Residents have to be going to Ocherias and the Central St. Mary to get vaccinated. The vaccination sites are too far and most elderly residents are unable to make the journey, asserted Byfield. According to the council caretaker, the issues with accessing vaccination sites extend beyond location. Byfield, while noting the obvious strain on household income due to the pandemic, expressed that poor road conditions and the low number of taxis plying the Ocherias to Port Maria route pose a challenge for residents who want to take the vaccine. Against that background, he is calling on the Health and Wellness Ministry to re-evaluate the strategy for Western St. Mary vaccination sites. At the same time, Byfield urged the St. Mary Western Member of Parliament, Robert Montague, to advocate on behalf of the people for more accessible vaccination sites. To that end, the PNP Councillor Caretaker recommended that the Health Ministry utilize the Gale Health Centre, Free Hill Primary School, and the Mount Angus Primary and Junior High School as vaccination sites in the constituency. The suggested sites are centrally located and allow easier access for residents, including students and elderly members of the community, the PNP statement disclosed. Listen to the signs, take the necessary precautions to protect yourselves and those around you by getting vaccinated. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and sanitize, Byfield urged the residents. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.